Hi, welcome to this week's video. Right now I am actually on my way home from Stampin' Up's annual convention, and I can't wait to share with you everything that I learned and saw there. But for this week's video, I thought that it would be fitting for me to share a version of one of my swaps that I made for convention. So this is the card that I'm going to show you today. This card uses the Cycle Celebration stamp set along with the I Am Me designer paper, and this is a combination that I really like, these two things together, and I actually used the same stamp set and designer paper combination on my start to finish Sunday video that I made a couple of weeks ago, this card. This is the Chalk Talk framelit set, and there is a stamp set by the same name that it coordinates perfectly with, but these are all just great label shapes, and I really like to kind of break them out and do different things with them. So I'm going to be using this awesome tag, and I love this tag shape. It's so cute and so unique. So I'm going to be using this tag today. And so the first thing I need to do is just cut it out of a scrap of Whisper White. So I'm going to go run this through my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to take this candle image here from the Cycle Celebration set, and I'm going to be stamping that across the bottom of this tag. So one of the easiest ways to choose a color combination for your cards is to take it straight from your designer series paper. So I've got on my desk here all the ink pads that I'm going to be using: Real Red, Pool Party, Calypso Coral, and So Saffron. And those are the colors that are in the I Am Me designer paper, along with, of course, Whisper White and also Basic Gray. And I'm going to be stamping off the edge of my tag, so I just want to get some scratch paper out. So I'm going to stamp all along the bottom of my tag here with a row of candles, and I found when I've been making this card for my swaps that it's actually easier for me to line the candles up by stamping this way rather than trying to stamp them vertically. So I'm going to do it horizontal. I'm starting with the Real Red. And I just have a baby wipe over here that I'm going to use to clean my stamp in between colors. Okay, now I'm going to ink my stamp with Pool Party. Calypso Coral. So Saffron. And I'm going to do one more Real Red on the edge. It's actually probably going to go off the edge a little bit. Okay, and just to make it look a little bit more purposeful, having one coming off the edge like that, I am going to stamp again with the So Saffron on the other edge, and we're just going to see just a little teeny bit of this one. Okay. That looks great. Okay, now while I'm working on my stamping, I have a little teeny tiny piece of Calypso Coral cardstock here. And that measures 1/4 inch by 1.5 inches. See this? Maybe you can see a little bit better. Okay. I'm just going to use some removable adhesive to adhere this to my surface. And I'm using Basic Gray ink and the Happy Birthday stamp from Teeny Tiny Wishes. I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Ma-Jig for this. I'm just going to get it centered. Okay, now I'm ready to assemble my card. So my card base is Whisper White, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Pool Party that measures 3.5 by 4 3/4, and a piece of the I Am Me designer paper that measures 3 by 3.5. So I'm going to start by just adhering the designer paper. And it's not quite centered. It's a little bit closer to the bottom of the cardstock. Okay. And now I can adhere this to my card base. Okay, so I will just center and stick this to my card base, leaving a nice white border all the way around. Okay, that looks good. Now I have two other little strips of the designer paper. This Calypso Coral Polka Dot looks like it's about a little bit less than 3/4 of an inch. And this is a So Saffron piece that's a little bit less than a 1/2 inch wide. And I just want to kind of eyeball where I want these, how long I want them to be. So I think about there looks good. And then this one is going to be a little bit shorter. Okay. And I'm just going to cut banner ends into both of these pieces of designer paper. Okay, now I can adhere these to my card. Again, slightly below center. We'll have them overlap a little bit. Okay. I'll bring my stamp tag back in, and that's going to go right on the card just like that. And I'm going to put that onto the card using dimensionals. And I'll bring my little happy birthday banner back in, and that's going to go right on the card just like that. So I'm just taking a tiny little piece of dimensional and putting it right on the end. And then I'm going to put some snail on the other end. And I'll just place that below these two banners, just like that. Okay, then I took about a 5-inch piece of the crushed curry chevron ribbon here, and I just tied that into a knot. And I'm just going to cut the ends off at an angle. Okay, that looks cute, and that's going to go onto the tag right there. And I'm going to use my Tombow Mono multi-glue for that, and I'm just going to squirt some onto the back of the knot. And I'll just adhere that right onto the side of the card. Now that's going to just take a moment to dry. And here is my finished card. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and I will catch you next week for another video. Until then, happy stampin'. Bye-bye.